Temasek's green investment event to be held next week will focus on how to scale AI sustainably. Ecosperity Week will bring together policymakers and investors to explore solutions to the energy use and emissions that come with infrastructure, build-out and supply chains. Now, nearly 40 partners, the largest number to date, will also be present, including tech giants like Google and leading fund manager BlackRock.
In this day and age where you have ongoing conflicts and supply chain disruptions, resilience is a strategic imperative and advantage, and therefore it will be a key focus topic for us this year. Last but not least, climate financing. Now, climate ambition cannot become real progress without capital, because capital is what enables decarbonization, is what strengthens resilience.
And for more we can expect during Ecosperity, let's speak to Kyung Ah Park, Chief Sustainability Officer at Temasek, and Spencer Low, the Head of Regional Sustainability for Asia Pacific at Google. Now, Kyung Ah, let's start with you first. Now, Asia is seeing rapid AI-driven growth. Now, how do you see the region balancing this ambition with energy demand and climate challenges?
Well, first of all, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. So AI is a game-changing technology, and we're seeing it growing unprecedented in an extraordinary way. And we are therefore seeing a surge in electricity demand, and particularly for this region in Southeast Asia, it is going to account for over 25% of the global energy demand in the coming decade. So there is a significant challenge. There's a tension. On the one hand, if we don't actually harness it in a calibrated way, we are going to see a significant increase in emissions, but it doesn't have to be contradictory. In fact, technology companies are being anchor demand to really pull forward and scale renewable energy as well as storage and enable the diversification of energy systems, including away from imported fossil fuel, which is, as we see, actually quite volatile. In addition, over the medium to longer term, it can pull forward a more diverse set of low carbon solutions. For example, geothermal in this region, bioenergy, as well as even in the future, advanced nuclear technology. Critically, AI can also be an enabler, if it harnessed the right way, in terms of unlocking more innovation, whether it be material discovery, optimizing the energy systems, as well as industrial efficiency, and enabling climate technologies to be innovated and scaled faster, as well as in a low-cost way. So the question is not whether we need to be able to have AI grow or not, because AI is going to be here to stay. It's really about how do we actually enable that growth in a sustainable way, as well as harness it. And so that's why at Ecosperity this year, we are going to be having a discussion on AI and importantly, sustainable AI.
We'll explore more about Ecosperity as we go forward. Now, Spencer, Google is often cited in its work with clean energy and efficient data center. Can you share some examples of how AI itself can actually be used to cut emissions, improve energy efficiency, and accelerate to the green transition in Asia?
Well, first of all, Paul, thank you very much for having me tonight. And so at Google, we're very mindful of AI's environmental footprint. And that's why energy efficiency and carbon-free energy are core areas of focus for us, especially when it comes to things like data centers and AI workloads. And we're actually making very good progress there. But at the same time, we recognize that the potential of AI as a force multiplier for environmental benefits is immense. The latest research shows that in just 3 sectors alone, these are power, food, and mobility, that AI can reduce the global emissions by 3 to 5 billion tons per year by 2035. And I'll give you some examples. In the power sector, using AI, we are now getting much more energy from the wind and solar farms than we used to. Google DeepMind research has proved that if you use AI to predict when the wind will blow and when people need electricity, you can actually boost the value of that energy by 20%. And in another case, we have a project that we call Greenlight, where we use AI to better fine-tune traffic lights at intersections, which cuts down the amount of stop-start traffic for drivers, and that actually reduces emissions and pollution in cities like Jakarta and Kolkata. So whether it's cooling our data centers more efficiently by 40% using AI, or routing drivers more efficiently on Google Maps, We really feel that the goal is clear, that to make the green choice the smarter choice, and wherever possible, the easier choice.
Now, Kyung Ah, this year's Ecosperity Impact Report audits how the platform drives real-world change. What stood out for you most about Ecosperity's impact beyond just the dialogues and discussions that we've seen in the event?
Yeah, so this is the first year where we're doing an impact report. And it's really a way for us to reflect on the past 12-year journey and look forward. And I've had the privilege of being involved from the very beginning, when Ecosperity was a relatively small local convening. And fast forward today, it's become really a global platform that brings together diverse stakeholders, anchored here in Asia. And last year, as an example, we had over 4,000 key decision makers coming together. And we are at a very pivotal time, because on the one hand, we know that the world has become a lot more complex, a lot more fragmented, and a lot more constrained. But on the other hand, the climate change is very much real and tangible, and it's a global challenge. So we need to come together, bringing different stakeholders and key decision makers from government, from investors, from business, as well as civil society, to enable greater dialogue, importantly, partnerships, as well as greater action. So this is a renewed commitment to ensure we stay the course.
So how different will this year's Ecosperity be from previous years?
Yeah. So Ecosperity's theme is very much about Asia's race towards 2030, given that we only have 5 years left until 2030. And Asia really is at the center of this transition, given that Asia still accounts for over half of the greenhouse gas emissions globally. It's also very much fossil-based energy system, and we're seeing some of the challenges right now from the geopolitical volatility and the import dependence of this. The good news is there's innovation that's happening. Technologies have reached a positive tipping point. Solar, wind, battery storage, as well as electric vehicles. And now the more economic, it's also the faster deployment and more resilient solutions in many markets in this region. And so we have the opportunity to scale these, as well as harness more breakthrough technologies and new business models. So it's very much being powered by innovation. It's also about intent. We have ambition, but we need to be pragmatic and realistic and be very intentional in terms of making sure that we also enable this transition to be inclusive, also very much enduring by bringing different stakeholders together and ensuring that we are collaborating to take that ambition towards real, tangible action.
Exactly why Google is also Ecosperity's partner and headline sponsor. So what has Google seen in Ecosperity that's so important to you now?
Well, to build on what Kyung Ah just said, it's really about innovation with intent, which is why we're here. So Google is at Ecosperity because the race to 2030 is no longer just a marathon, it's a sprint. And Asia is actually the world's most climate vulnerable region, and yet it is also the most digitally dynamic. And that's why we stepped up as a headline partner, because frankly, technology alone can't solve the climate crisis. In order for AI solutions to scale, we need to partner across public and private sectors to bridge gaps and to design robust policies. So we see ourselves as innovation partners. We want to see that as Asia sprints along in the AI race, that it's also a leader in the green transition. And so we're working with co-hosting with the Indian think tank Council on Energy, Environment and Water, a workshop that we're calling From Code Red to Code Green, activating AI for climate action in Asia Pacific now. And we'll have a really exciting AI for the Planet showcase, where we'll be demonstrating AI's use cases for the environment in Asia Pacific. So our messaging at Ecosperity is quite simple. We want to take AI out of the lab and out of pilot purgatory and bring it into the real world economies of Asia.
Well, we'll be certainly looking forward to that. Spencer, Kyung Ah, thank you so much for being with us today. And we'll be speaking with Kyung Ah Park, the Chief Sustainability Officer at Temasek, and Spencer Loeb, the Head of Regional Sustainability APAC at Google.